So I am going to jump into trying this baby. It's brand new in here. I'm going to rip this open and get on it. So this is my first time actually seeing this. You know what? This little heart is bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like really, really tiny. It's a lot bigger, as you can see there. I thought it was probably going to be like half the size. So that is surprising to me as how big the little heart is for underneath here. And then her sponge itself. So just so you guys can have a reference, this is how big it is compared to my face or my hand. It's like literally the size of the palm of my hand. So it's a lot bigger than I expected. The hair on here isn't as fluffy as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be as fluffy as, just from the pictures itself, as one of my puffs that I used to use. So let me go ahead and show you guys. This is like one of the sponges or like puffs. This is like a lot softer. As you can see there, this is way softer and just like, I don't know. This is a little bit more rough on the hair. So the hair is like a lot more, like the material on here is stuck on there a lot more. This is more like fluffy. So this is more like fluffy, and this is definitely more of like almost, I don't know, it doesn't, like the hair doesn't fully stick up like this does. So this is better for powder. Definitely going to be testing this sucker out. So I'm gonna take a little bit of product shots of this before I get them dirty and then come back on here and do the damn thing. So I'm gonna start off with primer. I'm gonna use a little bit of my Winky Lux, the whipped cream primer, because she says that this is supposed to be good for this kind of more pore filling primers. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this, and then I'm just gonna use the little side of it and see how this, and just, she says to pat it in. So we're just going to literally pat this in and see how this applies, as far as I feel this does better than my fingers. And just being honest with you guys, I have not seen not one review. I did not want to see anything. The only thing that I saw was her video of explaining the product, but other than that, I have not seen anyone else's review because I really wanted it to be my own thoughts and opinions. So just apply that on, and I don't know, like it doesn't look as dirty as I thought it was gonna look, and it applied it nicely. It feels kind of weird using something other than my fingers to apply primer, but it did a nice job. Not anything like groundbreaking or anything that I would say like I need this sponge to apply my primer with. So not anything like major or drastic. So next I'm going to apply my foundation, applying one of my favorite ones, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm not sure if she said, let's check on here. It says just to glide on foundation. So usually on my beauty blender, I apply it directly to the sponge, but because I'm not sure how this is going to apply, I'm just going to take one of my spatulas and do this. I'm just going to apply it with my spatula and then blend it out with her sponge. So that way I'm giving it a nice go and not applying way too much on here. So she says to do like a gliding and sweeping and buffing motion. So let's just see how this is going to work. I'm going to use the little tip on here and see how this applies. I do feel it's giving me more coverage than like the beauty blender because this is dry and it's not wet, so it's not absorbing any of the product. So I am just sweeping and buffing into the skin. And I feel like it gives a very natural look to the skin. It just really, wow, it really does blend it in nicely. Do you guys see that? There's like no harsh lines, no kind of, you know, like when you use brushes, a lot of times you can get kind of like the streaks on there. So there's no streaks, no nothing. I really like this, and I'm pretty pleasantly surprised that the sponge isn't like soaking wet or just feeling nasty or goopy of it. And it definitely has a different texture, like I said, than this one. So I would not use this for, this is too fluffy, and a lot of her pictures are kind of deceiving. It makes this look a lot more fluffier than what it is. So let's go ahead and finish the rest of my face with this. I'm going to try dipping it in and seeing if that makes a difference. So I dipped it into there and applying it to this side of my face. It feels really nice and smooth against the face and really nice and soft. I'm surprised it doesn't feel like, I don't know, I felt like it was gonna feel wet and goopy. I don't because it's a cloth material. I didn't have like the best thoughts of how it was gonna turn out, but it does look like very natural going on. It doesn't go on too heavy. It gives a nice coverage without looking too heavy and just really blends it in nicely to the face. So I'm gonna try layering in like the areas that I need a little bit more coverage and seeing how that applies. That is what it looks like. I feel like it gives a really nice coverage and it does not look streaky. I'm really pleasantly surprised by this. This one is a little bit more dense and harder for, I guess, the under eye area and for also contouring and highlighting. So I am going to, let's do my under eye concealer first. So let's do under eye concealer, just a little bit on one eye and see what that looks like. Let me see what she suggests. She has the big one in her pictures online, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one and see what it looks like, especially because I do have fine lines. So I'm just using a patting motion. I do feel like this gives you a lot more coverage. So that's what it looks like going on. I feel like it gives me a lot more coverage than, let's say, like the Beauty Blender, because the Beauty Blender does absorb quite a bit of the product. So with this, I would use a lot less product. And I don't feel like it applies it a lot smooth or anything. I still feel like you can see my under eyes. Obviously, nothing's gonna take away my wrinkles because it is what it is. My wrinkles are there to stay, but I do feel like it applies a lot nicer. So let me go ahead and put a little bit of setting powder underneath my eye, and I'm gonna use the little one to do so because I saw her do with the little one, and just using my Huda one and the side of that, and just going to set that in with this. Now I'm gonna set my face with one of my favorite powders, is the Coty Air Spun, and I'm just gonna tap some in there and then use the same sponge and just press that onto my skin. She says to go into like a patting motion, just very similar to any other puff that you use. This actually really helps elongate your, is that a word? The longevity of your makeup is to really press in powder. So I used to do that all the time and I don't know why I stopped. But basically this whole side of my face is done. Let me know what you guys think. Do you feel like the foundation and concealer looks a little smoother? The concealer itself, I wouldn't say it looks better than using like just the regular method that I used to applying with, but the foundation definitely looks a lot more natural. It looks smoother on the skin. I really enjoy her bigger sponge for that. I don't think I really feel that inclined to use it with concealer. So I just finished the basics of my face: foundation, concealer, powder, and setting powder underneath my eyes. I feel like this makes it look super natural, very flawless on the skin. The concealer isn't something spectacular, but the foundation itself really does impress me. How smooth it looks, how just flawless and blended in it looks. So I am going to also try contouring and highlighting with this. It's gonna use use my Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo and dip one of the edges into the bronze kind of part and see how this applies, and just, I don't know, just blend and bronze a little bit on here and see if it blends really nicely. And wow, that does blend like, ooh. I would definitely say apply less product, because as you can see here, up here I applied a little too much, but here on my cheek it looks really, really nice. I love how it just seamlessly blends out. So I would definitely say less is more. Don't apply way too much to the sponge, because the sponge definitely does not hold on to the product. I applied a little bit of blush to my cheeks, and now I'm gonna apply a little bit of highlight using this little small one, which I saw her in her website do. So let's just see how this applies highlight. Okay, so that applies highlight really nicely. I don't know if it's something that I would reach for all the time. I do like using my, you know, you're just so used to using your brushes, but it does apply it really nice and pigmented from the get-go. So that is like really nice for someone who likes a really pigmented highlight. For my final thoughts, I have to say, Tati made me eat my words. I talked so much smack when I saw this thing on her video, when I saw pictures of it. I just was not impressed. I was super skeptical. I said, oh God, why girl, why? But she did the damn thing. I am impressed by this sponge. Now that all my makeup has settled, that is in place, even my concealer I feel like looks really, really nice with this. Everything sets into place. I know a lot of people talk about it getting super dirty. I feel like this is big enough to do your full face. I would mainly use this for foundation, concealer, and powder. You could, like she said, contour with it, but I think I will stick to using my brushes for contouring and use these sponges for, you know, face products. But you can use it for highlight. I feel like it did a really nice job of packing on highlight. You could use it for contouring and just really just to blend out your makeup overall once you're done with it. I am so surprised at how much I enjoy these. Like I said, I'm eating my own words because she really did impress me. I put this in the washer. I was scared to put it alone, so I put it in one of those like bra bags, and so it didn't come out as clean. I do think that next time I will just put it in with towels by itself and not put it in one of those little bags, because of maybe it was in the bag, it didn't clean fully, so it's still a little stained in areas, but it did wash really nicely in the washer. All the little hairs are on it. So yeah, I'm really impressed by this. I am going to put this in a delicate bag as well, like one of those bra bags to put in the dryer and dry it off, but I wanted to test it out and see how it would wash in the washer. And it did really good. I do feel like you should put it by itself in the washer, because that's probably why it's still a little stained, but I think that this is really eco-friendly. You're going to be able to reuse this. It is double-sided, and if you're worried about this, you could literally just flip it to the other side and use both sides. I feel like it's big enough where you can use different areas for different products, foundation, concealer, and it doesn't stay wet when it uses the foundation or concealer. It doesn't stay like goopy. It actually blends it into your skin enough and gets the product off enough where you can actually go in with powder and use powder as well. So I have to say, damn, Tati, every damn thing you come out with is good. And I love Tati, but I am not someone to kiss ass or to be, you know, to rude about a product if I do not like it. It's one of the reasons that I've been knocked off of so many PR lists, is because if it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for me. I'm not a total bitch about it, but I will tell the truth here on my channel. So those are my thoughts on the sponge. If you've tried this sponge, let me know what your thoughts are. I have to say, for foundation, concealer, and powder, this is going to be my go-to now. I am definitely going to continuously use this. I just can't even tell you, like, if you see my skin in person, it just looks so good. Damn. And I will continuously use this and just keep testing it out for you guys, but I am so freaking impressed. She did the damn thing. So let me hear your thoughts down below if you've tried this. What are your thoughts on it? I would love to hear back from you guys. Are you like me? Did you think it was a gimmick, or did you think it was gonna be like a total crappy product and then you're totally astounded by it? But she really did the damn thing. Everything that she claims it is, it does. It doesn't use up as much product. It blends like a dream. You can use it for multiple products. I still I look at my foundation and I still can't believe how good it looks. Damn you, Tati. You're so good. Anyways, let me go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that little red button and subscribe. Follow me on my social media down below, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.